Joining us now is Yeung, staff writer at Venture Beat. Ken, thanks so much for joining us. Let's get right to it, Ken. Lyft announced on Tuesday that it's launching a dispatch developer program that will allow a limited number of partners to order rides for people who don't have smartphones or their own Lyft account. Let's just start with what the significance is of this update.
Well, this is actually an extension of the existing platform that Lyft has. They currently allow you to incorporate their API into third-party apps, so that way you can request a ride. But this time now it's allowing developers to basically white label what they offer entirely. So you can basically recreate Lyft within your own app. So you can manage their supply of drivers to come for various reasons. Some case examples have been within the healthcare space. So elderly people, I know you guys were talking about that earlier, elderly people who may need rides to get around town from their home to doctor's appointments or to go grocery shopping or anything like that. There are services that can basically white label the Lyft platform to do just that without kind of requiring people to have a Lyft
All right,
account.
I sort of buy it, Ken. I mean, I kind of do agree with you. I see it. Like, you have a healthcare service. Let's say that it's an outpatient type surgery type center, and you want some way when you sign up for your surgery, it takes you home. Or I think senior centers are great, but I don't know. It just seems like whenever I hear about you can hail an Uber from Facebook Messenger, or this is going to be integrated with a messenger bot, it just sounds to me like nonsense, kind of. Like, who would do that?
Well, there's actually quite a few people that probably would do that.
Okay.
There's an ongoing battle between Uber and also Lyft to manage the first and last mile. They're all about getting you from point A to point B. Lyft also is on Amazon Alexa. You can request a ride through there. They are also within Google Maps and with Facebook Messenger as well. So at the end of the day, it's all a matter of transitioning away from a traditional app, at least in my opinion, from a traditional app of transit to kind of being the foundation, this platform of transport to get people from to wherever they want to go.
Ken, doesn't Lyft have to seize the moment right now? And what I mean by that is Uber's in the middle of a huge cultural crisis. I mean, you have their CEO, Travis Kalanick, saying, hey, I need more leadership help. I mean, people are coming at them from every which direction. Lyft has to seize this moment. They're so far behind in valuation. Uber at about $70 billion, Lyft at only $5 billion.
Absolutely. And I think and Lyft, for the most part, has been trying to position themselves different from Uber. I think there's been some that say they're the anti-Uber, but it's actually more of a matter of philosophy. From my take, Uber is more about the transportation and logistics, and that's good for them. Lyft is coming at it more as more of a user experience and driver experience. They're going to provide that cheerful ride, that pleasant experience, while also getting you where you want to go. But as Uber has had a variety of stumbles over the past few weeks, this is the time for Lyft to be aggressive, and they are being aggressive, at least for the most part. They have made a promise to be in 100 new markets this year, and in the past couple months, they've already come very close to that. They're almost at, I believe, around 90 or so markets, and so there's plenty of opportunity for them to expand.
So Ken, what are they? I hear that often, that they're trying to be the anti-Uber, but what does that mean? I mean, Corey and I were just talking about it. It does feel like there are it's a simpler interface in some ways, especially since Uber made that more complicated, confusing interface. What is the anti-Uber?
Well, I think it's more about the attitude, at least for many people. You look at the Delete Uber campaign that kind of came up over the past.
But is that enough, though?
Weeks.
I mean, is that enough? I mean, just being the Uber's got the terrible values, and then Lyft is the company without the terrible values. Is that enough to move the needle?
I think in the short term, probably a little bit, but I think in the long term, Lyft needs to come back with a bigger differentiator. I mean, it's basically the same thing of, why do you choose one PC over another PC, right? what is the differentiator behind that? Why is one Android device the same better than the other Android app? And so right now it's all a matter of perception and how you position yourselves differently. And I mean, I guess that's standard marketing for companies. But I think that there's going to be still a very steep uphill battle for Lyft as it kind of tries to take on Uber.
Yeah, definitely will be, Ken. Let's actually talk a little bit more about Uber right now. We just got this in, Uber self-driving cars coming back to California, the DMV granting them 2 permits for public testing. Of course, right now they don't have any plans to pick up passengers. We remember this was a huge issue earlier this year with Uber. We can actually just add it to the bucket list of issues that this company has, with them picking that fight with the state of California, saying, hey, they didn't want to spend, get this, John, it was only $150 for the permit. They didn't want to spend $150 for the permit from the state of California, so they hightailed it to Arizona. They've got clearly a laundry list of issues. They've now decided to pay California. What can we see with them now with these self-driving cars?
I think you're going to, right now, they are testing them out for mapping purposes, or at least that's what Uber's been saying with their, I believe, their Ford Fusion cars. I'm not exactly sure on the model, but I think over time you're going to start to see that. I think having them in California is going to be essential for Uber, especially as it needs to kind of get a better understanding of different topography around the country. Right now it's in Arizona, it's in Pittsburgh, but not having it in its hometown is kind of a bad sign. Plus, I know that when they first launched it in California and San Francisco, there was an inkling that it needed to be. It was all about bringing the engineering teams closer to the home office, so that way there's a more streamlined communication.
All right, Ken Yeung, staff writer at VentureBeat.